Rest in peace to our black queen, Assata Shakur.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not too broken up about Assata Shakur's passing.
Assata Shakur should not be celebrated. Let's talk about it. Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is a video about Assata Shakur, who she was part of the Black Panther, the Black Liberation Movement and all that. I think she's the founder of Black Liberation Movement. But anyway, this week it was being announced that she passed on in Cuba at a very old age, and talking about how she was a fugitive and how the American government has put a bond on her head for her arrest, and she was one of the most wanted people in America, and yet she still went on to go live her life and still die naturally without any cause or even going to jail. Mind you, she was broken out from jail when she was arrested for unaliving a police officer and all that. But anyway, guys, this has struck an entire conversation on the internet where some people are saying that, you know what, she does not deserve being celebrated because why did she even flee the country to Cuba when she could have gone somewhere else? How she was in a movement that was very destructive and all that. But anyway, guys, there was one particular creator that said a couple of things that got a lot of people like. So let's go check out the video and then we'll come back and talk more.
Rest in peace to our black queen, Assata Shakur. She's passed away at the age of 78, y'all. Oh my God. If you don't know who this woman is, you need to pick up a book. Cuba announced it in a foreign press release. On September 25th, 2025, American citizen Joanne Deborah Bryan, Assata Shakur, has passed away in Havana, Cuba, due to health conditions and advanced age. Now, Ms. Shakur was known for being a part of the Black Liberation Army and a prominent figure when it came to Black power and Black liberation. Now, back in the 1970s, they'd like to claim that Ms. Assata Shakur was a part of robberies and which she said she didn't have shit to do with. Now in 1973, everything changed for her. There was a shooting in a New Jersey turnpike that one officer and her friend. I think it's pronounced Zaid Shakur, but no relation. Now Assata was wounded and arrested and taken to prison. She was convicted of, even though her people said she did not hit that trooper. But in 1979, they got her the hell out. Yes, the Black Liberation Army got her out of jail. They got her all the way to Cuba, and when she got there, Castro said, baby, you got sanctuary here. In 2013, the FBI put her on the most wanted list as a terrorist and offered a $2 million reward to bring her ass back from Cuba. Did I mention she was one of the first people in the Black Panther movement? And not only was she part of the Black Panther movement, she was also Tupac's godmother and step-aunt. Oh yeah, she was bad. She lived most of her life outside of the public eye, but she did do interviews every now and then. In 1987, she wrote an autobiography. Her autobiography awakened several activists, movements for racial justice, including within the hip-hop community and the Black Lives Matter movement. She lived out her days as Miss Shakur. And I'm happy that she was never able to be touched by America. That's one black woman they couldn't touch. Rest in heaven, Queen.
I was trying to make this video yesterday and I just couldn't quite articulate it whenever I saw that Assata Shakur passed, but I think I got it now. And I just want to say that real revolutionaries are not propped up and heralded by any kind of government entity immediately after they pass away. Whether that is through natural causes like Assata Shakur or if they're just taken out. So when I see Charlie Kirk being immediately propped up, and radical, like it's ridiculous, bro. They're calling him their Martin Luther King when he was just a lame that just argue with kids. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why people like Angela Davis, Assata Shakur, Fred Hampton, Huey P. Newton, Malcolm X don't get celebrated, and it's because they were real revolutionaries that was really pissing white folks off. And the only real exception to this rule is Martin Luther King. Because Martin was really revolutionary despite the propaganda that was made against him over the years to make him seem like he was some sort of docile that was just screaming, kumbaya, let's just be friends. You know what I'm saying? Because like if he was really just doing that and then he wouldn't have had a put in him, bro. He would still be alive to this day. But the government had to take him out just like they took out so many of us, bro. And the fact that they try to compare this parasite insect to real revolutionary leaders like Assata Shakur, Martin Luther King, Malcolm, is so disrespectful, because he's done nothing to warrant that kind of affection, that kind of attention and glory, bruh. And it's such a beautiful thing that even whenever she had $2 million on her head, like she was Luffy, she was able to escape and die a natural death, bruh. Shit is beautiful. Very beautiful. And I love seeing our elders, and it's specifically the ones that was really in the trenches, getting it out the mud during the civil rights era. You know what I'm saying? It's because a lot of us were lost. A lot of us, over the centuries, a lot of us just did not get to reach our full potential because of white supremacy. Mm-hmm. Like I sit back and I think about all of the would-be Assata Shakur's, the would-be doctors, lawyers, ball players, great thinkers, the great minds that we have lost due to racism and bigotry, bro. That shit fucked up. But I get a sense of joy whenever I see that our elders get to live long lives. You know what I'm saying? This shit is beautiful. Rest in power to Assata Shakur. You know what I'm saying? And all the other soldiers that got lost along the way.
I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not too broken up about Assata Shakur's passing because, A, I find it very ironic you pick an African name, you flee to a Latino country for asylum, but what the hell did you actually do for us? Assata Shakur was for self, much like a lot of those Black Panthers. That's why they were dismantled. You use the struggling and suffering of blacks to further your own movement. And before you get all pissed off, let me explain something to you. A lot of y'all that are black in this country, the Black Panthers, as radical and loud as y'all are, baby, you would not have been accepted. The Black Panther Party did not like anybody who was LGBTQ. They didn't care for anybody who was of a different background. Like, if you were not strictly Black American, they didn't give a about you. So, like I said, and then she killed a police officer, and the movement she was, what was it called? The Black Liberation Army or whatever, broke in prison, took some people hostage, and, you know, broke her out. She left in a van and all that shit, whatever. And then she fled to Cuba. But Fidel Castro granted her political asylum. And that's what I want to bring to attention. Now, you don't advocate for anybody black outside America, you know, but the Latino countries are the only place you can go for asylum. You didn't go nowhere that was primarily black. You didn't go to Jamaica. You didn't go to, you didn't go to Africa. Why the hell did you pick Cuba? Because you know if you can't go nowhere else on this earth, Latinos will protect you. So at the end of the day, it's sad she passed, but it don't affect me in no way, shape, or form. And I don't give a what you have to say. Again, just because I'm black, nah. Black Panther Party really didn't do shit for us either besides give underprivileged blacks the WIC program, and that's it. Panther Party did not like anybody who was LGBTQ. They didn't care for anybody who was of a different background. Like, if you were not strictly Black American, they didn't give a about you. So
I keep saying that we need to separate ourselves from people like this. Assata Shakur did more in the short time that she was in the United States than you will do in your entire lifetime.
How Cuba takes care of Assata. If you don't know who Assata Shakur is, I'll make another video on that. Normally, like I said, I tell y'all go look it up, but no, because I'm so passionate about this, I'll make you another video if you don't know who Assata Shakur is. And there was a dude who made a 10-minute video, and I watched every minute of it, talking about Cuba needs to turn Assata over to the U.S. So I'm going to make my video as to why Cuba does not have to and should not and will not. Assata did a lot for black people. I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not too broken up about Assata Shakur's passing because, A, I find it very ironic you pick an African name, you flee to a Latino country for asylum, but what the hell did you actually do for us? Assata Shakur was for self, much like a lot of those Black Panthers. That's why they were dismantled.
Girl, shut the fuck up, loser. Every day I learn why Harriet Tubman left some of you behind. Number one, if you don't understand why Assata Shakur did not go to any other country but Cuba, was because she was protected by Cuba. She was given political asylum by Cuba. Okay? Why would she go to Africa when historically Africa was still occupied by the French? Exactly. Why would she go there? Then you went on to talk about the Black Panther Party. First of all, the Black Panther Party was deemed a terrorist organization by the federal government because they were teaching people how to defend themselves. Okay, they were about that action. But also, you didn't really talk about the food program that they made it. They implemented a breakfast program in 1969. By 1971, it had expanded to 36 cities, feeding over 20,000 children. This also affected their schoolwork. This affected how they operated in schools. These kids were making better grades. They were paying attention in school because they were not going to school focused because they were hungry. That's what the Black Panther Party did. Loser. So before you get up here and you just start spouting off bullshit that people are not helping the community, that people are not helping anything, please get your facts right. As a matter of fact, shut the
Not to be messy, but I'm going to be a little bit messy because this video pissed me off. This creator made a video that was full of ahistorical takes about Assata Shakur and decided to upload it yesterday when everyone was, uploading their videos, grieving the great Assata Shakur. And basically spreading a lot of ahistorical information about who she was, what she represented, who the Black Panther Party was, what they did for our community, this, and that. Now, I don't know how to put this. I guess I want to look at this video in the frame of the saying that we've all coined on social media, that we are losing our recipes. And I know there's lots of jokes about it and conversations about it on the timeline about us as Black people losing our recipes. But when you sit with the fact that we're actually losing our elders, our Black radical intellectual leaders, and also losing our connections to each other, we are really losing our recipes, and it's not a laughing matter. I'm contextualizing this video within a bunch of videos that have happened this year. A couple weeks ago, we had that guy on the podcast talking about how he wouldn't follow Harriet Tubman and he'd just be a good, so he'd avoid being beat up. And people were making jokes about that. A lot of their jokes were funny, but that mindset is concerning. We had a few months before that, someone talking about how Harriet Tubman did not exist. We had the Emmett Till conversations that continue to pop up where Black creators on this app invoke his name truly in vain to describe him being linked to them being critiqued on social media for the points that they put out publicly, as well as Summer from Baddies using his name in vain in an absolutely insane situation, and many, many more situations in between. You can also contextualize this with the fact that, when we have conversations about Black hairstylists and like going to an old school shop versus these new stylists and what they're asking and demanding of their, clientele versus what the beauty shop used to represent in the Black community. As a little Black girl who went to a Black beauty shop, it's an important watering hole for multi-generational Black women, Black femmes, Black people in general to sit and discuss things. You get more from the beauty shop than just a new hairstyle. You soak in a lot at those spaces. Couch in also the context of like people talking about how this generation doesn't do the cookouts or the barbecues and all of these things, which are, again, important third spaces, third events for us to be with each other multi-generationally, to sit with your present, past, and future, to engage with each other and have conversations with each other and learn from each other. So when these videos come up, yes, it can be haha funny, but it's also haha weird when you actually see the results of like decades and, attack on, the Black community, our history, our understanding of ourselves in the context of American society. Like, this video made me extremely sad, actually. It didn't make me mad. It didn't, I saw the videos of people trying to like counteract it with logic. It's just sad. And in this time, more than ever, we need to lock lock in, people. We need to understand that we're going to learn how to survive this time period by going to the past, by going and reading these works, by going and talking to our elders, by reading history, our history, and understanding it. And this is why, I made my podcast, and the thesis is History is a True Crime Story, because it is the fact that we are relying on the American government to teach us our own history, and no longer having points of inflection where we can all commune and share our own history orally is getting concerning. And that's why I made the podcast. Do you think I'm in grad school? No, this is all self-inflicted due dates, self-inflicted research, all of these things, because I wanted to learn more about my history. I wanted to learn more about my Black history, the history of slavery, and find power in it. I don't have to do this. I truly want to do this. And even me, someone who is obsessed with history and in my free time, watch documentaries, listen to podcasts, all of that kind of stuff, I had major holes and gaps in my understanding of slavery, which is why I made the podcast. That was a love letter to my past, to my legacy, to the understanding of slavery, to our history, and making it available for free for anyone to listen to if they feel so compelled through my perspective is the point. I just got a DM from Midwest Side Gun, aka Jacob, who sent me what Solange is doing with her free archive of Black artists in general, writers, intellectuals, works of art, all sorts of things, like first edition music, all of these things that she's providing availability for people for free. And it's like, first of all, hilarious that you thought that what I was doing was not meaningful in any way in terms of the flash drive, but in general, talking about archival work and trying to preserve our history and making it readily accessible for our people is work. It's important work, because we have people like this who come online, whether it's for attention or not, willing to degrade their own people just for clout and a check and attention. I've gotten 3 different DMs over the past 3 weeks of people asking about citing my podcast or citing my TikTok videos or citing my YouTube channel for their thesis papers, which warms my heart. And I request every single one of those papers for my archive, because it makes me feel like I'm actually contributing something and I'm doing something. But at this point in time, people, this is not funny, haha. This is funny, weird. This is funny, disgraceful. And we need to lock in. In this week alone, we have this video coming out. We have Assata Shakur. We have Mona Leo's Sexy Solon music video coming out and song coming out. Like, we need to lock in. We need to actually do the work and stop, just focusing on the jokes of it all. It's funny until it's not funny. And in these times, it's really not funny. We need to clean it up and tighten up and lock in and be able to work on relying on each other to spread information and work on learning our history, because this video, deplorable.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think. But please, as always, keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thought. Love to know what you guys think. For me personally, I find this very, very interesting, especially the lady that a lot of people are stitching and talking about her take. I personally, I didn't know so much about Assata Shakur until couple of years ago, and I did some research, and I was fascinated about it. And then now knowing that she and Tupac Shakur too, they are related, it just like kind of blew my mind. But every time I hear a story, I have goosebumps and all that. And I feel like all the points that the lady was making, talking about how can she answer an African name and go live in South Cuban. Do you know, like, I think there's an extradition laws around in most African countries for the United States. So wouldn't that be stupid and foolish of her if she does not want to get caught, and after they've done a massive jailbreak for her? So I don't even know why the whole let me talk down on her and all that. Whether you like it or not, on her own right, like other people have pointed out, she has impacted life. And this is where, like, as people, she even impacted life before when she was way younger. Now that growing old, we didn't know the things she did. But yeah, A lot of the time, people think that staying to 100 and something years is good enough for them to be able to accomplish enough. When a lot of the time, when you look back and ask yourself, what have you done for people? What do you think you've given to people? What will people remember you for? You really are not standard. You really are not impressionable. You really are not unforgettable. So people are just going to come in and out and go. I don't even understand why she's out here talking about it. A lot of time people believe that when the amount the life they impact determines about how long they are able to stay on earth and exist on earth. But she, look at her, Asata, she was able to make something out of her life at a very young age, impacted life. We are talking about her years later. The United States was still looking for her years later and all that. So I feel like as people, especially as black people, let's be very, very intentional. Especially as black women, let's be very, very intentional of uplifting our environment, our people, women like us, because a lot of the time people are not going to do it. And usually, I understand at the time she did what she did, like the whole Black Panther and all that. Black people have to take things by force because they were not being given. I find out that in life that when you sit around and wait for things to be given to you, it will not be given to you except you take it. And if the person is going to stop you from having it, or the group of people are going to stop you from having it, then you could as well take it by force. So people will say, oh, she was in the Black Panther, and so what? They are the ones that they fought a lot of liberation that black people have today. So for me personally, I feel like this is a celebration of life of a beautiful black queen that impacted life at a young age and smart enough to even know that she's going to live life at her own terms and went to a country that will protect her. She has protection there, and she stayed, she lived her life till she grew old and died. I love that for her. Personally, I love that for her. So anyway, guys, you guys let me know what you guys think. I personally, I see her like every time you guys saw when lady was talking about, I was having goosebumps. Every time I hear her story, I don't know, that just happened. So yeah. Anyway, guys, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think, and go ahead and share your thoughts. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversations. So go ahead, feel free and share your thought. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see. And that will be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.